And when I read this manuscript, Richie, it comes alive in a different way. It does, really, really does. Now I have to refer, and I don't like to give too much energy to negativity, but somebody in the comments says something that I believe is worth addressing.
Okay, I missed that one.
There's something in the comments that says something like, "Oh, Eboni, I really like you and you're great, but that Harlem dinner wasn't hitting. I would have preferred something more entertaining."
Oh, can you save that for 1 second?
Yeah, I will.
Pause. And I just want to say something, because actually this takes me to a point that I was going to get to.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Okay. So, it's not a quote, because it was
Harry, come here.
It's more of a longer passage, I would say, in the book, guys. The Harlem Night episode is actually referenced in the book.
Yes.
And for me, what I found more interesting than what was shown was the dedication to the diversity of everything that was put into the dinner that made it special.
Thank you.
And we never got to see that. And so I honestly can't wait to hear the audio of that. Because it's one thing to read it, but I'm a production nerd, so I love knowing those little behind the scenes nuggets.
Yeah.
So now, okay, given that, let's talk about that Harlem Night.
Let's talk about it. I just want to say, this is Carrie James. This is my sweet fur baby. In a moment like this, where we deep into it, like we into it, I'm gonna go in this kitchen and go ahead and make my martini, because I need a refill. Don't you wish baby, go on and make me a refill. You make me a refill. I'm gonna put her down. Anyway. All right. So let's as you said, Richie's right, y'all. Richie's had the privilege of reading the book early. I go there in chapter 3 because a lot of y'all had a lot to say about the Harlem dinner. And this is what I would say to you with love, with LOVE. Most of y'all motherfuckers ain't even never heard of half the individual reference that evening. And while you're so pressed to laugh and be entertained, what you need to be concerned with is understanding yourself, your identity, and your entire being on a better, deeper level. And if, I don't know, a 5-course meal that included lobster bisque, shea crab, custom cocktails, including for the sober alcoholic women in the group, custom music by Spanish Harlem's greatest, jazz fine, in a Black-owned, queer-owned Harlem venue, which is the remaining last true speakeasy above 1 Street, below 150th. If that's not enough for you, I suggest you look in another direction. I really do, because I'm quite proud of it. And for those of you, there's a lot of Black folks, a lot of us. Don't think that the work of the oppressor is only done by those that don't reflect us. A lot of us. I mean, we saw what happened today in Memphis, and I'm gonna leave that right there. Some of us love to do the work of the oppressor. Anyway, what I would say to you is stop looking for opportunities to appease and accommodate, and start inviting opportunities to evolve and elevate. Okay? Because Harlem Night was revolutionary. I want you to name any franchise, any season, anywhere where the names were spoken of James Baldwin, of Langston Hughes, of W.E.B. Du Bois. And for all the shenanigans of some of my cast gave on air, guess what I smelled? Guess what aroma piqued my nose when I walked into their Upper East Side condo? Their rent. Guess what, Richie? Their rentals. I sure saw those Langston Hughes Harlem Candle Company candles lit. I sure saw those speakeasy candles lit. I sure saw those Josephine Baker candles lit. in their rentals. So, you know, it's just the math ain't mathing. I'm gonna close with this because, you know, I like to go there. Some people say, well, you know, I really like Eboni, but I don't think she was a good housewife. And I say to that, why? I want you to define a good housewife for me. Is it a person? Is it a woman that allows you to toil with her substance, that allows you to objectify her as pure spectacle? Is it someone who permits the entertainment and levity at the expense of anything that will even challenge you to think? Because if that's what you define as a good housewife, I think you need to look that mirror at your motherfucking face. And I think you need to reassess what you allow women that put their lives in front of cameras for your entertainment pleasure to exist at. And I believe that some of the best housewives look a litany of ways. About housewives and not talk about Nene Leakes. You can't talk about housewives and not talk about Candy Burris. You can't talk about housewives for whatever you think and not talk about Karen Huger. You can't talk about housewives and not talk about what I think is the brilliance of Garcelle Boubet. Y'all kiss my black ass. You can't talk about housewives and not talk about Eboni K. Williams because a bitch was so thorough, a bitch was so potent that they had to redo the whole motherfucking thing. Which is why in the book, Bet on Black, the good news about being Black in America today, available with I was, whatever you say, I was the most impactful single season housewife this entire franchise ever saw. And any more questions, Richie?